We live in a world obsessed with artificial intelligence. But what if the real superpower isn't in the code or in the algorithmics? What if it's still with us? So, in this episode, I will explore the third mindset shift that is essential to navigate the human side of the AI disruption because AI won't save us, but our human potential might.
Expanding possibilities, the mindset zone.
I'm your host, Anna Melikian. I'm here to support you, increase your impact while preventing burnout. The Mindset Zone is a place to pause, increase your self-awareness, and embrace the experimentation mindset. Find more resources, including information about the Mindset Zone book and audiobook at mindset.zone. Yes, instead of .com is .zone. I already did several episodes about this topic. I start with the first episode of this series about the big waves in my country of origin, Portugal, in a place called Nazaré, where we have 100-foot waves. And I use that as a metaphor to describing what is happening, at least in the business world. We are facing in the present moment a 100-foot AI wave. And we can surf this wave if we take this as a team sport. That is one of the points and one of the lessons of surfing big waves in Portugal and in other places. Then I did another episode about the first mindset shift that I think is crucial for us to do in order to be able to surf this 100-foot AI wave. It's that shifting from seeing humans versus technology to see humans and technology that were intertwined from the beginning, that we call ourselves human beings, technologies being there, thinking about Stone Age and all the technology necessary for creating tools out of stone. And fast forward to the modern times and that we are living at the moment, if we see human intelligence versus artificial intelligence, we are limiting us. And if we shift our mindset to see human intelligence and artificial intelligence in this thing that we can call a co-intelligence, we open doors to much more possibilities out there and to a brighter and better future. But that takes us to the second mindset shift that we have to do, because if we keep seeing doing more, so technology to do more with less, and we are going to doing more with AI, more productivity. Yes, all these things are true, but it's very narrow. We have to broaden our perspective and see how can we use artificial intelligence and all these new technologies to doing better for our future of work. And that can be really essential. And today, I want to focus this episode on the glue of this all, because we humans are the key here to make this work. I like to always bring an evergreen principle here. And I even, when I speak about this to groups of any size, I love to do a small experiential exercises, like a little bit an experiment that you as a listener, if you are not driving, if you are in a place that you can write, you can also do this. So, and if you are driving, you can do this afterwards when you have a moment. Just grab something to write with. You can also do in a mobile device by writing digitally, but it's more powerful if you write a pen or a pencil and a scrap of paper and do this with the old-fashioned technology of a pen and a pencil. And a piece of paper. So imagine yourself or do this, write the word reactive. Reactive. If possible, all in caps. Reactive. Reactive. Now, pause and find the letter C between the A and the T. Cross it out of there and move the C to the beginning of the word. What word do you have now? Yes, you have the word creative. You see, you made a small shift that create a big change. And one of the keys to amplifying our impact without burning out is to learn to stop being reactive and stay more in the creative or proactive mode. If we react to this 100-foot AI wave, we are not being proactive. We are not producing the full positive impact that we have the potential to make. And this takes us to my favorite quote of all times that I did several episodes about this already, and I will put them on the show notes. And this quote is, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The challenge is to press the pause button that allows us to see that space that gives us the power to choose our response, especially when changing is happening so fast. So, for a moment here, let's pause. Let's see that space. And let's go back to that historical timeline and think about our ancestors 12,000 years ago when there was that big shift in humanity that we had the first agricultural revolution. Biologically, we are not very different from our ancestors. What has changed is the technology that we invented and the culture that developed around it. And that is what changed during this time. And now, with this acceleration of change that is so fast, we are even pushing the limits of culture. Yet, we have another tool in our toolbox that we can leverage. Because as humans, yes, we influence the culture and we should be working to change the culture. Absolutely, is part of the work. But we have, each one of us, this thing that we can call modus operandi, our way of operating in the world, modus operandi or MO. And our MO can adapt and develop faster to allow us to be proactive instead of reactive when facing this 100-foot wave. This is tapping into our human potential and is the core of this third mindset shift. We humans are the key here. So to tap into the AI potential that will allow us to build a better future, we must first tap into our human potential, our human edge. We humans are the key. So through self-development work, we can evolve our modus operandi so that we are less reactive and more proactive. We can, and I want to invite all of you to see this and the potential of this, and even to see the human potential from a broader perspective. Because usually, and I'm speaking about here about the power that we as individual have. An individual has true power to change the way that they are in the world, that agency. And we tend to see tapping into our human potential only as this individual work. That is so important, so essential, but the problem is in the word only. So, because even in the way that we describe this, we use terms like self-development work, this self-work. Again, This self-work can be the beginning. It's essential. It's powerful. And we can start doing this inner work today. It's in our power. And at the same time, we have to broaden our perspective of human potential because human beings are connecting beings. We can do more together than we can do alone. Remember, surfing the 100-foot AI wave is a team sport. So if we learn to harness the power of connections, of teams, of groups, of communities, we can significantly amplify our potential and impact. So we can start to shape our future and the future of work in a way that reflects our values and our aspirations as groups. And yes, as individuals, as groups, we live within systems. So we cannot forget this because cultures, organizations are systems with rules. And by being aware of how they influence us as groups and as individuals, we can develop more tools to influence and change the culture. So if we develop our understanding of these systemic forces, we will have more power to influence the systems in which we live that we have to change in order for a better future. So tapping into the potential of these different dimensions, the inner in the individual, the outer in the group, in the team, and the systems, the systemic forces, allow us to transform problems into solutions and truly unlock our human potential in an exponential way. I hope that this makes sense. This is a more holistic approach that expands what's possible in a big way and is totally possible to surf the 100-foot AI wave and ensure that all these technological advancements enhance rather than diminish our humanity and well-being. So it's key that we keep in mind that we humans have this power. If we react either by ignoring or by trying to control this AI wave, we are going to be crushed or burn out by it. If we are proactive and do this together as a team, we can surf this wave. Take time to think about this. We come from a reality in our Western world that our default modus operandi and mode of being in the world for most people is reacting, hustling, fearing, staying busy, working hard. This is already creating so much burnout in our lives and work. This before AI became this big wave and artificial intelligence and all the tools around it only accelerate what we already do. So if we are just reacting with our old modus operandi, we are only accelerating overwhelm and burnout. So that is not a good future. We need to do a mindset shift that requires us asking, who am I becoming as I adopt these technologies? It's not about catching up with AI. It's about catching up with our own possibilities. This is not about working harder. It's about awakening qualities like creativity, resilience, self-awareness, innovation, emotional intelligence, courage, care. We can do this. We know so much now from psychology, social sciences, high performance science, self-development. And we know this is not extra stuff. This is essential at this moment in time. In my book, The Mindset Zone, I speak about the PI method that is a way to help us to leverage these things to increase our mental fitness. And we can do this if we tap first into our human potential. We can leverage this potential of artificial intelligence, of the energy of this wave in a big and positive way. We can only co-create a better future if we start with who we are and who we are becoming. So, you don't have to do this alone. No one surfs these big waves alone. This is a team sport. Think about the image of the 100-foot wave. It's not a solo sport, it's a team sport. We can do this together. Human potential flourish in connection with the support of our peers, of our mentors, collaborations, teams, and influencing and changing the systems that we are part of. We have to create trust, emotional intelligence, team intelligence, psychological safety to try new things and create a sustainable future of work. Is in our reach if we do this together. So we are the ones who give AI its power, its meaning, its purpose. So if we want to create a better future, let's not wait for machines to lead us there. Let's collaborate with these tools, learn about these tools, learn about ourselves, and let's become the kind of humans who can do this together. It's absolutely possible. So let's keep learning. Let's keep creating a positive impact out there, and we can enjoy the ride too.
Expanding possibilities, the mindset zone.
If you can think of a person who will find this episode helpful, please share it. Spreading the word about the Mindset Zone podcast is very powerful. For extra resources, including information about the book and audiobook, Mindset Zone, Actualize Your Human Potential, go to mindset.zone. Yes, instead of .com is .zone. As always, I'm so grateful that you are here. Expand what's possible for you, for the ones around you, for the world.